All right. Well, good to be back a little past the halfway point of spring ball for us, and had a lighter week this week. This was our only practice of the week. Did some weights and meetings throughout the week, but kind of gave our guys some opportunities to physically just be in good shape. A couple injury updates that were not pre-spring. I think we're good on most of the pre-spring, but y'all can ask questions if not. Most guys are rehabbing and doing really well. Guys like R.J. Maryland, ahead of schedule, and I'm sure there's some others I'm not thinking about, but and on track to be ready to go this summer, which is good. Matt Hibner has a minor, kind of patella tendonitis, nothing really that serious, no surgery or anything. We just decided to hold him the rest of spring just to calm it down, and he should be completely fine by the summer as well. And then Jonathan Jefferson hurt his knee, one of the first early practices. It's still kind of uncertain what the best course of treatment is for it. It's not necessarily season ending yet, so there's a couple of options. So we just don't know yet, and I know he's working with our doctors on over the next week or two what the best course is to get him back healthy the fastest. So, but he's out for the rest of spring and could be out the beginning of the season. Not 100% sure yet on that. I think everyone else has stayed pretty healthy, just normal bangs and bruises here or there. And then, we've got I think we got four or five practices left, and then we'll be off ready for the summer. A couple guys that have not been with us since spring ball started. They've handled it right. We've met with them. Just kind of either they're going to make a decision to try to go elsewhere, maybe get more opportunities to play. Some of them may even decide they're wanting to go a different direction than football together. So we'll leave that up to them. But guys that haven't been with us is Tyler Aronson, Ashton Cozart, Reagan Gill, Alex Rogers. Those are guys that have decided that they're probably going to pursue other opportunities. L.J. Johnson's another one I think wants to go. He's got 1 year left and wants to have a chance to compete to be the guy. And so, again, all these guys have handled it great, but they've not been with us for spring. And then Caleb Johnson did get injured in the winter workouts. He's someone that has graduated, but I think it was an Achilles injury. So that may make it tough for him to play his final year. So I think those are the guys we know of. So just, I know the portal's coming. And look, I think every school will tell you there's probably some guys that are maybe haven't made that decision yet that'll still decide they want to go somewhere and have a chance to play or get a fresh start somewhere. Overall, I feel really good about where our team is. I think every school's going into this thing. It's every year it's just a little more unprecedented, but we feel like we're in a good place and working towards putting our team together.
This timing of the house settlement and all of these things, I mean, not to have you talk about somebody else, but what Tennessee's going through seems like right now with Nico and all those contracts. You guys doesn't seem like you guys have had any of that on the like with guys sitting out practice and some drama. I mean, how have you guys handled that and
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, yeah, our guys have been good. Look, it's a mess. The house settlement's supposedly going to happen, but we don't know when. So we're constantly not able to plan or even advise people. It's just you take it one day at a time, and you just wake up and you never know what you're going to get. And the hard part is there's some there. I want to be clear. There's some good agents out there. Okay. There's some guys that represent players on our team that do it the right way. They're professional. Then there's a lot of them that aren't. There's a lot of them that aren't even agents but claim to be. There's a lot of lying going on. There's a lot of guys that will call people on teams and say, I guarantee you this much money just to get them to go in the portal. And that ain't true. And now they just start shopping them. And, I don't think that was ever intended, and I don't think anybody thinks that's what's best for guys. Now, every situation is different, and kids are put in the middle of it. And so it's not their fault that they have people constantly reaching out to them and trying to decipher who's real, who's not, what's a good actor, what's not. You have some kids that are super happy, and then people are creating confusion where there's not. And you got others that maybe are looking to maybe change their opportunity. So it's just everything in between. And so we worry about our team. We worry about our guys. They know we care about them. We try to be honest and transparent. Hope they'll do the same. At the end of the day, we don't want anybody here who doesn't want to be here. and I'm not as familiar with what's going on with the situation you asked me about, but like, no, if you started holding out, you just wouldn't be on the team anymore. Like, we're not doing that. You're either on the team or you're not. We don't have contracts. This isn't the NFL. If this was the NFL, it wouldn't be as chaotic as it is. You know what I mean? There'd be rules. There'd be people say they're going to go somewhere, they sign, and it's done. And it's not. It's very inconsistent right now. And so hopefully there's some. It's called the settlement. Hopefully there's some settling on the way. Until then, we're going to keep working on the guys that want to be here. We hope they all do. I think guys are happy here and believe in it, but there's a lot of guys going to be getting calls and people trying to get things done. So we'll see. But we're going to continue. We're going to finish our spring ball. We're going to help the ones that are here, and then the ones that want to leave, we're going to do our best to help them find a really good spot too, because they contributed. They were a part of this team and this program, and we want the best for them.
Has that changed your mindset from a coaching perspective when you have to deal with outside distractions within the team?
I mean, I don't know if it changes the mindset. I mean, it's we still care about the kids. We create relationships. We're trying to build a team, build a program. We're going to do it honestly and transparently. I think our kids trust us for the most part, and so they'll listen in most cases. But there's just a lot of misinformation, and in some cases it's real information. But I don't know if it changes the mindset. It just changes the job. I mean, and honestly, it makes it harder on the guys too. I mean, there's a lot of guys around the country who decided to stay at their school after the portal in the winter. Every other sport's done. Now ours goes 3 months later and creates that again. So we'll see. I mean, we deal with the rules that are in front of us, and we try to be honest with our guys. We try to give them and get them everything we can possibly get them to give them the best they can have. And I think they know that.
Without RJ and Matt out there, how much has that allowed Adam Moore, Trip Reardon, guys like that to get more reps, and what have you seen from them?
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, Adam had a weird abscess deal in his throat the first week and missed a week randomly, but he's good. He's back out there now and healthy. And I mean, I think Adam's got a chance to have a big year. I mean, Adam's a really versatile playmaker. He's been patient. And, when you start looking at our kind of those athletes that we have that kind of are, quote, tight end room, but are also like hybrid wide receivers. I mean, when you got R.J. Maryland, Adam Moore, and Matt Hibner, I don't know if I've ever had a group of those three guys that can do all the different things they can do on one team. And so, and they all have similar strengths, but they all have different strengths. And so, with RJ and Matt being out, definitely helped Adam. But Adam was going to get a lot of opportunity this spring anyways, because we think he's going to be a big part of our team next year. But, yeah, guys like Trip Reardon, guys like Stone Eby, we have a couple young tight ends that aren't here yet. If they were, it'd be really good for them too. But I think Trip's a good example. He's gotten a lot more opportunities to develop and show what he can do.
Young guys, Coach. How important is it to get those guys? The 2025
Yeah.
is big for you guys. Dayton Singleton's been a standout. Jalen Cooper, Ty Hawkins is on the field early.
Yeah.
How important do you stress that when you're talking to a guy that's being recruited about getting here early in the trench?
Yeah, we don't pressure guys to show up early just because, it's great. And what you're saying is true. It's good for them. And so if they want to, we're all for it. People don't understand. We can't just invite everybody early. The NCAA rules, you only have so many mid-year spots, and there's a lot of rules. And so we had, I think, 8 freshmen show up early, 4 on each side of the ball. We tell kids at recruiting, if that's what they want to do and they can do it academically, we're all for it. But there's no pressure. If we want the kid, we want him. And if he can't show up till June, that's fine. I think Draymond Odoms is going to come in and compete to help us right away. You know what I mean? I think Abel Hoopy is going to do the same thing. You're talking just specifically on the O-line. We got Chunky coming in at running back. And, I think Zay Gentry is going to have a chance at corner. And I could go on and on and on. Like, I think all those guys, just because they come in at June, because some guys play spring sports. Some guys want to go to prom, whatever. Like, some guys' mamas just probably like my wife would be. Like, I want 4 more months with my boys at home, right? So we're good either way. But to truly answer your question, it's good. And I think it shows in Ty Hawkins now 9 practices in. I think he's been really good. Jalen Cooper, Daylon Singleton, I think those reps are invaluable. And at times they probably feel like they're swimming upstream a lot right now. But, like, they don't understand. Just keep pushing through it. this spring is going to be huge. You get the summer. When they come back in the summer, when they come back for fall camp, it's going to be night and day, and it gives them a chance to really contribute. Drew Hill on the O-line. And then you go to defense. I know we got Mark at linebacker. We got Shivers on the D-line, and then we got our two young DBs, and Jay Holly and Man Polly that, again, are getting invaluable reps that will give them a chance to help us this year. And so doesn't mean you can't do it if you don't show up early, but it certainly helps, and I think you've seen that growth if you've been out there.
The changing of the dynamics of your running back room, I would suspect, to what extent is that with LJ?
Yeah, I mean, we wanted LJ to be here. I think he would have had a good role. He'd help us win just like he has the last 2 years, but also respect him and want what's best for him. And, I think Derek McFall, we feel like can take a really big step this year. I mean, you saw what he did at Flashes as a freshman. I think he's had a really good spring. I think there's a lot of confidence there. He's even bigger now, and hopefully after summer he'll even be bigger then. But just the versatility, and then you look at someone like C.J. Johnson who came in. I mean, those guys are weapons out of the backfield catching the ball. They're fast. They home run threats. They can run between the tackles, run outside. They give you a lot of versatility even as returners on special teams. So I think those two guys are exciting. If someone like LJ wants to move on, that just gives someone like Jermaico Green a great opportunity when he gets there this summer. Bigger back, physical, and then now it may, we'll see what's out there. We may need to add a piece just for depth that we wouldn't have had he decided to stay, and I think there'll probably be plenty of options for that. But we feel good. Now we're younger, and we probably need, to add a number here or there just for depth. But I like the guys we have.
Do you think you would, if you did look at that, would you say, do we need to get a short yardage back? Like if we have a 3rd and 1, do we need to get somebody like?
Yeah.
Do we have the confidence of using McFall or CJ?
It's not that we don't have confidence in those guys. We do, and they probably will. But yeah, I mean, it would make sense to say, okay, you got guys that are home run threats. They can catch the ball and do all these other things, but they're not bigger backs. Obviously, Chunky is called Chunky, so he's a bigger back, and having another bigger back would make sense, if you're trying to build that room out and complement it. Because, yeah, we're going to have times where it's goal line, short yardage, or maybe late in the game you need to run the ball and lean on someone, and sometimes having that bigger back really helps. So, yeah, I would think that would be the direction we'd be looking.
How important is this kind of stretch run of spring to really take what you guys have done in the first half and see them really take the next step going into the summer?
It's important from team chemistry, continuing to build this team's identity, who we want to be. I mean, spring ball's still weird because until the portal closes, we don't know who's on our team. We think we know, and then who knows what happens in the next 2 weeks. So today's Friday, so 2 weeks from now at midnight, we'll know, okay, spring ball have ended and we'll know. And so we're trying to work on what we know we need to do in general, and it's, the identity, the foundational fundamentals and things that are important. Trying to create that edge for our team and hope those guys are still going to be a part of it. But it's hard to give spring ball too much importance nowadays because, as a coach, if you're healthy and everybody stays on your team, you're happy. And so I do think it's helpful and we'll get something out of it, but we're really just trying to wait and see who's on our team. And then once we know that, now we can go into June, and we get a little more freedom in June now to do some almost OTA type things, and that's when we can really, at least from a schematic and some of those things, try to get everything in front of them ahead of fall camp.
You talked about it a little bit, but in terms of what you guys lost last year regarding senior leadership and veterans, how would you say some guys are stepping up locally as leaders?
Yeah, I mean, we lost a lot of really good leaders. When we had 21, 2, 3, whatever it was at our pro day, and all of them were, majority of them were real strong contributors to the team, not just on the field, but as, the intangible aspect of leadership. There's a lot to replace. I do think we have a good kind of core group returning, which is helpful because we got a lot of new faces, particularly on defense, but really everywhere. So when you look at defense, man, to have an Isaiah Wacobia and an Ahmad Moses and an Alexander Kilgore, that's huge. And then to have a Cam Robertson or an Isaiah Smith and those guys that have been through it, I think it's helpful. And then we have some other guys with experience. We got Deuce back and Jalen Davis-Robinson back. And so some of those other guys, can really help as well there. And then you go to offense. I mean, having your quarterback back's huge. I think Kevin's been great as a leader. You got guys like P.J. Williams and Logan Parr Up front, you've got 2 veteran senior receivers and Jordan Hudson and Romello Brinson that have been there. And then, of course, the tight end room we've talked about. So we have enough guys, Matt Hibner, R.J. Maryland, et cetera. And then those guys that I expect them to become leaders, the Adam Moores, the Derek McFalls, and so on and so forth. So we've got a good group returning. But we got a long way to go because you can't just have a couple guys that are kind of, as we call around here, chasing the standard. You got to have a lot of guys all in the same direction. And so I think those guys will show either the younger guys or the new guys the way, and then it's our job and their job to make sure that by the time we start playing people, everybody's pulling in the same direction. But it's hard to replace Elijah Roberts. It's hard to replace a Roderick Daniels, and I could go on and on and on. But that's the name of the game. It's what we got to do.
When you look at the secondary, you've got key guys like Ahmad, Zay back, you've got Deuce who played a lot,
Yeah.
Taylor Davis Robinson. But what have you seen with that competition, especially at like nickel, where you lose CJ and you got Kyron and Lamadrick?
Yeah.
It just seems like a lot of competition opportunity.
Yeah, I'll use the word potential, and potential just means you haven't done it yet. So, but I think we have the potential to have a even in a more improved back end than we did a year ago. I mean, I think we got a chance to be better at corner. When you look at, you got Deuce and Smoke coming back, played a lot for us. Speedy Nettles is now a year further along. Marcellus should be healthy soon, a transfer. And then we like our freshmen, Jay Holly and Zay Gentry. So, I think we have a chance to be better and deeper, longer and faster there. And then, still having 2 of your 3 returning starters at safety. I mean, losing Jonathan McGill and CJ, they were really good players for us. But Zay and Ahmad kind of stabilized that thing. And then, whether it's Kyron Chambers, Lamadrick's been playing nickel some. We got our freshmen, Man Polly, and we got some that aren't here yet. I think J.M.J.'s been out. He should be back by the summer. He's one I probably forgot to mention. But, I think we got a chance to be deeper and maybe even all around a little faster and more athletic. So we got the potential.
The offensive line, I mean, you have some key pieces back.
Yeah.
You brought in some guys that seem to plug in well. What have you seen from that group, and is the competition on the right side kind of what is going to be determined over the next how many months?
It's not just the right side; it's overall. I mean, we got a chance to be really good on the O-line. Again, there's a lot of potential there. I've liked what we've seen in the spring. It's probably been the most consistent and most improved unit, I would think, at least on offense, maybe on the whole team. Again, we got the veteran guys like PJ and Logan and Nate Anderson, and then you got some new faces. You got Bates, you got Addison, you've got those guys that are really coming on. I look at returning guys like I think Andrew Chambly has had a great winter and a great spring, and we need him big time for us to go where we want to go, and I think he's been great. Savion Byrd, I think, is improved. And so I think we're all improved everywhere and we're deeper. And that's not counting a couple freshmen coming in, a Zion Nelson who should be healthy by summer. I mean, I think we've got that units. They're playing well together too. So, at this stage in spring, that's pretty cool. So I think we ran the ball better. We protected it better. And Garen's got that group playing well together.
What have you seen from Kevin the first half of spring? And
Yeah.
have you met any of the things that you guys want?
Yeah, Kevin's been great. Kevin has had moments where he does those plays that Kevin does where you just go, wow. And then he's had some moments he'd probably like back. But I think overall he's been good. Physically he's good. I think mentally he's in a great place and understanding what we're doing. We're very vanilla in the spring offensively. And, you can't really judge any of the cues or really any of the units because one minute you got the 2 seniors out there, next minute you got 2 freshmen out there, 2 of your tight ends aren't even going, So, I've always felt like you really don't judge the QB per se until he has all his weapons around him that are healthy and we're kind of trending in that mode like we will be when we get to fall camp. Good news is I think when we get into June, we'll have just about everybody at least been able to do what we're doing so we can really start to get that continuity. That's where they'll get those improvements. But I think Kevin's been great. I think his attitude's been great. His leadership's been great. And I think he's not only picking up where he left off, I think he's got a chance. He's got to have a good summer and a good fall camp and then go show it. But I think he's got a chance to keep making the strides that I know he wants to make.
With him being fully entrenched as a starter and having that, not only that mindset, but just maybe that comfortability of knowing that he's the guy, as well as just maybe some additional access to different things. Are there things that he's doing away from from here
Yeah.
that you know you can even talk
Yeah, I mean, I know him and Coach King and Coach Hollander are spending a lot of extra time together. I know he wants to. He said, "I want to have that kind of that coordinator mentality," which is great. Like, you know, when we get into the summer and fall camp, even that's when he and I and our offensive staff can. I mean, you want him to be that extension of the coaching staff on the field. He'll come up. Maybe he'll do it today. Most of the times he'll come in and do his post-practice stuff and treatment and all that, and then he'll come up and sit in with the coaches as we're watching practice film, and he'll watch it with us. You know, so I think he's trying to treat it as much as he can like a professional model of like, this is my job, this is what I want to be great at, it's my craft, and that's what you want out of your quarterback. So, no, he's doing all the things he needs to do to continue to try to improve, and that's what he's hungry to do.
Thanks, guys.
Everybody good? You got one?
Yeah, one last.
Isaiah Smith, you mentioned him coming off the edge, he flashed it.
Yep.
Practice. How important is that going to be to establish him?
Huge. I mean, you know, we've been really good pressuring the quarterback the last 2 years, and we've been really good doing it without having to blitz a ton. And you know, we lost some good D linemen, but I think Isaiah Smith has done that throughout the course of his career. I think Cam Robertson has done that. I think DJ Warner has flashed as a guy who could do that. Billy Walton is starting to really develop, and he's getting bigger and more explosive. So, but Turbo in general, I mean, he's been doing it for 3 years, and that's the key. Can you create pressure on the QB when you need to? And the more you can do it without having to, you know, blitz a ton, the better it is. And so it's good to see those guys, you know, going back and forth with our O-line.